Hey, welcome back everyone. It's time for another round of Nothing Harder. Today we're going to be taking on the challenge with Falco, a character from the Star Fox series. Now, Falco is a bit of an interesting fighter. When he was introduced in Smash Bros. Melee, the second game in the series, he was pretty much the same as Fox, the lead character from Star Fox. Basically, the only difference between them was that Falco's blaster was a bit slower but caused the enemy to flinch, where Fox's was faster but didn't. But yeah, in Brawl they got a bit more differences. I still believe that Fox is slightly better than Falco. Both of them, Fox and Falco, they're playing them well, I think. It depends not on doing a whole lot of damage to the opponent at once, but rather doing a bunch of combos, like one after the other, which they mainly pull that stuff off because of how fast they are. And I think that Falco is just a bit slower than Fox, so it's not quite as good. I mean, it was pretty good in Brawl, considering that game had a bit more of a slower pace compared to, well, both Melee and Smash 4. Yeah, Falco really didn't do too good in the transition from Brawl to this game. In Brawl, Falco was actually one of my mains, but in this game, I don't know, it's just kind of not quite as good. And oh darn it, I just got nailed by that. Not good. Right, so I don't know. Falco is like I said, in Brawl was a bit more slow paced, but in this game is a lot more fast paced, and I don't think Falco got too much of a boost. Well, maybe he did get a small boost, but I think that it's more that everybody else got a much bigger boost. And I don't know, Falco's moves are still a bit slow to come out, so it's pretty easy to, if he makes a wrong move, to punish him for that. He's open for a few seconds after doing a move, like especially the blaster, which just takes a little bit to recover from that. So you always want to make sure you have I don't know, you're far away from the opponent, and you have a good angle for doing that. You don't want to do it up close. Yeah, but despite all of what I said, I actually did pretty good with Falco in this round, because this is the first time I've been doing the challenge that I actually completed this in just one go. I didn't have to retry it, so no failure this time. Don't worry, that will be returning in the future, so if you like that. And I knocked Samus off when Samus was holding the hammer. Yeah, it's an easy way to knock out people hammers. Just knock them off the edge right as they're picking it up. And since they can't jump or in the air when they're holding a hammer, easy peasy that. Right, but back to Falco. Even though he is a little bit slower, he is still pretty fast. And so I think, and we're up against Fox this time. Anyway, but playing good as Falco, it is a lot of needs a lot of good. I don't know, being in the air a lot. That's usually where Falco, and Fox really shine. But Falco is a bit more distinct from Fox, and that he is slightly slower, but he a bit more powerful. I think. I'm not quite sure on that, though. I'm not really a pro Smash player. I don't know. That's just the feeling I get from playing Falco. I think it's not quite. It's not quite. Though Falco isn't quite as much of a clone of Fox anymore. He was in mid-melee, but he moved away from that in Brawl, and a bit more so in Smash 4. But yeah, most of their special moves are very similar. But mainly the main differences between those are, like I mentioned before, Falco's blaster making the opponent flinch, as well as the down B. Fox just holds it, while Falco kicks it out a little bit. And they can be both be good in different circumstances, but Falco's you just kick it out a little bit to get a good little bit of damage. And it is one of the Falco's moves that comes out really quickly, and it has a pretty good range. So yeah, a lot of the time I tend to use that move a lot. So I try not to overuse it. And I just got Goldine. That ain't good. Never want Goldine. Yeah, another good thing about Falco is his dashing side and just kicks the opponent. Yeah, it's also a good move for approaching the opponent, just getting him kind of easily, I guess. And the blue shell got out Pikachu. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, I actually didn't have too much of a problem this time playing as Falco. But yeah, we're going on to the Fighting Me team. I'm gonna have a slight problems with these guys at first. Yeah, Falco is kind of light, so and with all the Miis running around, it's pretty easy for Falco in particular to get knocked around and up to high percentages. Like I have 60% already, and I've only knocked out a couple of guys. Yeah, that's never a good thing. Yeah, but yeah, I do use the whatchamacallit, the smash side, the smash attack to the side, which that can usually knock out a Mii in a hit or two, depending on where on the stage it's used. But with all the Miis, they tend to knock me out quick. So yeah, I switched over to just using the side B, and that was usually good enough to get to knock out at least a couple each time I hit at least one of them. And no, I don't usually do these Mii challenges on my own too much, like the regular 100-man melee or not melee. That was in melee. Yeah. Anyway, I usually try to depend on items a bit more than the character's usual attacks. It's usually just a bit more efficient knocking out Miis that way. But yeah, moving on from that, we're getting on to the master forms. And Falco is pretty darn good at getting these guys, since again, the point of fighting these guys is to just knock them down a certain amount of health. And Falco has a couple of moves, especially in the air, that can just do a whole bunch of like 10 damage or so, like right at a time. Like you can see me doing that right away. So yeah, that's the Master and Crazy Hand down just in about 20 seconds. So yeah, throughout the rest of this, I just keep on using those moves, especially the up aerial, to just get a bunch of damage really quickly. That's really the way to get these guys. for a while, even before Smash 4 and in Brawl and Melee, I usually tried to fight Master Hand, using just smash attacks. I was just thinking that, obviously those are the most powerful attacks, so those are the ones you want to use. But that's not really the best thing you could do. They are the most powerful attacks, yes. Well, for most characters. I don't know. I think like maybe Ike's special, neutral special is good. But anyway, you want to do the aerial attacks more, or just the quicker attacks. Obviously, they're not quite as powerful, yeah, but they do get more damage out quickly. So yeah, it's usually good. That's usually better in knocking out these guys quicker. And of course, the other benefit is that you're keeping on moving around when you're doing that. You never want to stay completely still when you're fighting these guys, because they can get really powerful attacks off really quickly, and if you just stay still, they're gonna knock you out really quickly. Anyway, I'm starting to get a lot better at this. Like, one time doing it with Falco, but yeah, some of the other fighters that I've been doing this challenge with, I've had to replay them a lot. So yeah, I guess you'll see what I'm talking about in the coming weeks. But yeah, I finally beat Master Shadow. Master Shadow, yeah, that's his name. Yeah, on to Master Fortress. And if you haven't already guessed, Falco is really good at this. His aerial moves can just make short work of those cores. So yeah, combined with his decent speed, I guess. So yeah, Master Fortress with Falco is not really too much of a challenge. Just gotta knock out these guys. Yeah, in fact, I believe that. No, wait, no, it's not this time. Just got knocked around a bit by those guys right there. So yeah, if you just knock them out, and yeah, just knocking out this second core, not too much of a hassle. Yeah, just 2 more to go. Try to do a little bit of an up E, back up, just to show it off. It's I think it's kind of neat that the transition from the 2 back to the final destination stage, that kind of completely resets it. The first few times that I tried Master Fortress, when I got this game, I don't know, I was always just a bit worried that whenever I knocked out that core, that I would just fall and get knocked out by those danger zones. But yeah, I didn't really have anything to worry about. You can just from whenever you knock it out, that core, just nothing else on the screen really matters. But yeah, just getting to the final part here, just gotta knock away these guys. Yeah, a good tip is just to knock away those big guys first, and hopefully they will knock out. They'll bounce around and knock out some of the smaller enemies. Yeah, so just on to the final form, I decided to be daring for a bit, and yeah, I knocked out the final core without knocking out those bad guys that appeared right after I damaged it for the first time. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Falco this time. Yeah, despite what I said about Falco, I still do enjoy playing as him, as I knock out the final core. Yeah, anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for today's episode, everyone. So, stay tuned for more of Nothing Harder. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, please. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye!